Good evening, guys. How you doing?
Pretty
All
good,
right.
pretty good.
Tonight we are going to be looking at Derange by Dark Gaia Studios. This game came out 2 days ago as per the time of this recording, so May 28th, 2020. It is on Steam for $6.69.
This is a RPG Maker game.
Correct.
I was gonna say it kind of looks like it, like just the stylization
But
already.
it is an RPG Maker game made in the vein of 90s survival horror. So like trying to
Yeah.
elicit that old Resident Evil feeling.
Oh, there we have the mansion.
Is there gonna
I'm,
be an evil lab underneath?
I'm sure if they go in there, everything will go well for
I
them.
will. I will also point out, if you recall, we did first opinions for Resident Evil 7, where the game started by receiving a phone call from like your wife that she had gone missing, essentially.
Yeah.
This game starts with a cutscene that I had taken out because it's very long. It kind of serves as a credits as well about how like their old professor called and had gone missing or sent an email.
Okay.
That
Okay.
that run bar reloads very, very slowly.
And depletes very, very quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to
that,
run
that
later. That's not gonna work so well for you.
that's gonna come into play when the guy with the chainsaw comes at you.
One
You know
thing
what?
I
I
Go
like
ahead.
what they're doing with the atmosphere.
Oh, I thought that the story and the atmosphere in this were fantastic. But yeah, that stamina meter goes very quickly. And it is actually one of the few things that I kind of found was off, or one of the first things I found was off with the game. The controls are very stiff and clunky.
I've seen that with a few of the other RPG Maker games. It can be a little bit stiff.
But I did play, a bunch of this, and the exploration, actually, before I go further, I should say, anybody watching this, it will be a spoiler for like the first 10 minutes, and I do show the solution to some of the puzzles. So if you don't want to see those, if you're planning to play the game, just log off now and come back after you've played it. I was going to say, like the puzzles that I was doing, the atmosphere, even like the kind of, what would you call the ambiance music, very
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah, it was. It sounds creepy. Like it gives you that vibe, right? So very well
And
done.
I mean, with the slew of RPG makers all being very cookie cutter RPGs, seeing this, while very heavy handed on the Resident Evil influences, is actually, I mean, the character that I'm playing, though you get to choose between the two, even looks like a pixelated Leon Kennedy to me. Not when it shows his
Yeah.
actual portrait, but when walking around.
Yeah. Can you pick up the axe? Yeah.
Oh, you're already armed.
I am
You can go
not.
on a murder spree.
So the two characters, he starts with a multi-tool, and he has the ability to find extra items when investigating the surroundings. Jessica, the female, she can carry two additional items, like inventory, which obviously inventory management is a good thing. So, I don't think the story changes too much. I did try both, and it just kind of a little bit of flavor there for that.
Yeah.
Oh, she just stood there the whole time, just looking at a door.
You keep on looking for that spare key. I'll stay here in case anything happens. Well,
I'd be like, screw that. I'm coming with you. Like two is better than none.
wait. How about you walk around the creepy mansion floors and I'll stand here and do nothing? How's that?
It's one
How
of
about
those
we?
things that I don't understand sometimes in horror games where it's like, let's split up. The same as horror movies. No, no, don't split up.
I have
Stay
a better
together.
idea. I have a better idea. We just found a dead body. Let's just leave and get
All
the
the
cops.
cops. Yeah.
It's not like the car broke down or anything. Like,
No. Like at least if there
Oh,
was some narrative to it, right, as to why.
well, there's a chainsaw. I wonder if that's gonna be used later on.
Yeah, it's like, there's a dead body. Let's call the police, come back when it's broad daylight, and we have, like, the whole police force with us to scour the grounds. But nah. We're two teenagers looking for our old professor. We got
Even
this.
even minimum, let's say the car broke down, okay? And there's two of them. Stay together! Why are you separating yourselves?
I have never liked a professor enough that I would wander through an abandoned mansion where I found a dead body in the middle of the night for him.
Nope.
Not gonna
Agreed.
lie.
What if you were the professor?
Oh, his body's gone.
That wasn't the
Awesome.
professor, though. That was just a body.
I'm scared, guys.
Like, he said, like, I found blood in a body. That's another thing that actually got to me in the game, is it slows down a lot when you have to go into the menu to use items.
Mm.
I understand
Now you
that's
got a weapon.
probably a limitation, but at the same time, if it's an obvious item, like, I get you had to do that in Resident Evil, but at this point, certain things should just work.
Yeah.
So this explains the combat, which I will say right now, the combat is the worst part of the game.
Oh, what a shock.
Uh,
So it's very genuine to the original Resident Evil then.
and you know what? That's an argument that a lot of people have made when defending this title. In early discussions I've seen, people are saying that the combat is terrible, and others are saying, well, yeah, but so was the combat in the original Resident Evil. The whole idea is that you're meant to want to avoid combat.
You're meant to suck in a survival
Yeah.
horror team, which kind of makes sense if they're just a bunch of dumb teens looking for the professor.
In Resident Evil, though, you were STARS members.
Yeah,
That is true.
It was Resident Evil 2 where they were just like a rookie cop and a civilian.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, a rookie cop still should be pretty good with a gun.
Yes, but
But the civilian, you can understand.
Yeah.
See,
Your
so, like-
inventory's full. Oh, that's dumb.
well, again, like, think about Resident Evil. You start with a briefcase, and I mean, even in Resident Evil, it's like grid-based, right? So it's even worse than that.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you have a set number. Again, if you don't like that, you can pick Jessica and have 10 items to carry, but there's also storage boxes.
Imagine if you tossed away something that you absolutely needed later.
Well, I didn't
Sure.
see any option for tossing it away. I only
Oh,
saw
okay.
the option to put
You
it
can
in
only store-
storage. And then
Okay,
you'll
that
see
makes sense.
actually right here what it says. Use the cottage. I don't have a key for you this anymore. Discard it.
Okay,
So-
that's
Yeah,
pretty
so
good then.
that's pretty good, yeah.
It would be kind of worrying if you could screw yourself up in that game.
Exactly.
Oh.
But I mean, the idea being that, you know, if you put storage boxes and you can use them, and that's the only way to quote-unquote discard an item before the game does it for you automatically, even if you have to go out of your way to go back to storage, you can still always obtain it. And to be honest, like, spoiler coming up here, if you want to get into this pantry, there is a number lock. The combination is actually found on a notepad, where it's actually the date of a party that the diary says they're gonna throw. So, like, the hints are there. It just takes a little bit of thinking.
Yeah.
In
that's
this
pretty sweet.
in this situation, I didn't have to pick both the handle and the meat hook to combine them. When I clicked on one, it combined the two, knowing that would be the combination. So it does do a little bit of that to help you out. Now here is where the game really goes downhill for me in the combat. It is a very terrible turn-based type of combat that goes on a dice rolling system.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's like Morrowind,
Kind of.
turn-based Morrowind.
Which, in my opinion, the fact that this was done in RPG Maker, if they had gone with a traditional turn-based combat system, kind of like, which is Parasite Eve 1 or 2 that had the turn-based combat. It was 1, right?
There was one.
Yeah, it had the weird sphere bubble things, but yeah, it was turn-based, so...
If it did something more like that, I think it does enough with the atmosphere and the storyline that it wouldn't need, like, combat where you could potentially die because it's clunky and bad, and it would have been a stellar game. And to move to my first opinion final take, I would pass on this game because of the combat.
Yeah.
You guys have 1 minute. What are your final thoughts?
I mean, I really like the atmosphere, but yeah, I mean, it really... Combat at least means a little bit in these games, even if it's not a big part of it. So I'd probably be the same, that I wouldn't want to necessarily go much further with it. But it is a good price, so
Alex?
I'll consider it.
The combat looks pretty bad. You just stand there and you walk into each other. That is pretty lame. But other than that, yeah, I do like the atmosphere. I probably wouldn't play it because I don't really like survival horror games anyways.
So
But
that's 3
looks cool.
passes, and I think that they're almost all because of the combat.
Yeah.
That's it. We'll see
Sure.
you guys on the next one.
Hey, did you like that video? If you did, be sure to let us know by clicking the like button and leaving a comment. If you want to be first in line for any new content, be sure to subscribe to our channel and then hit up our Facebook page. The link's in the description below to see what's coming up next.